Here we have the 2016 Ford Everest Titanium. This is the top of the line 4x2 model, at least in 2016. And today I'm going to show you around this car. I'm going to drive it, then I'm also going to review it. Since this is the titanium trim, there's just so much chromes over here. And you have these lights, and they're not actually LEDs, they're just your regular halogen lights. You don't have HIDs, and you don't even have your LED DRLs. Only the higher end 4x4 Titanium Plus had that. Back in 2016, 2017, they didn't have the Titanium Plus for 4x2 yet, so you had no choice. If you wanted those LED DRLs, you had to go for the 4x4 versions. The tires we have on this, they are some Thailand-made tires. They're Thunderer, and they are 265/50 20s. And even though those are 20s and those tires aren't exactly the great brand, it's actually handling and riding quite comfortably. It's not exactly a wide car, but all those curves just make it look a bit chubby and chunky. So first, let's check the thud of the door, and that's a solid thud. Built for tough indeed. First thing you'll notice here in the Everest's cabin is how premium it feels. So you got soft touch up top, all across the dashboard. Here on the left side, you got soft touch here and soft touch here. It's hard touch plastic over here though. Got a nice gloss trim. Even the door handle looks pretty nice. It's looks like metal, but it's actually plastic that's made to look like metal. Down here, you got your automatic light switches. You got your fog lamps, and that's front and back. You can even fold your side mirrors here, and these are pretty big side mirrors, probably the biggest in any car I've seen. The steering wheel too, it's very premium feeling. The leather wrap is good. It's multifunction too, so you can control that side and this one for that side. Over here at the left, you can check your fuel economy. So right now we're getting around 6.6 kilometers per liter, which is not bad for a car this size, although it could be better. In some of its competitors, you can go a bit higher than that. And you can see your speedometer in the middle. That's quite a sporty feel. You have this thing called a limiter, so if you set it to, for example, 30 kilometers per hour, it won't go past that, but in an emergency you can easily floor the throttle and it'll actually override that. You also have your cruise control setting here. Now, if you see this thing in the middle, a couple of years back, I actually used one of those windshield or dash mounted suction cup things. And it left the mark here, which I could never ever get off anymore, which is quite annoying. That's one of the downsides of the soft touch materials. Over here, there's a gloss trim again. It has this very nice Everest logo, which only the titanium has. Now, for the center screen, it's okay. It's a Sync 2 system. It's not quite responsive, but hey, you got ambient lighting. You can choose between a couple of colors, and it shows up in the footwell and over there at the door handles. So there's a like dark blue, but usually I just leave it at this light blue. Exit out of that. And down here you'll notice that there's two USB ports and an SD card slot plus an aux port. However, despite the USB port, this one does not have CarPlay. The Sync 3, which were used in the newer Everest in I think 2017 or 2018, had the Sync 3, and those had CarPlay, I believe, but so far this one doesn't have it yet. Now, if you check on here, you have dual zone climate control for left and right, but for the back, it's just hot and cold. Got a nice gear lever, which is a gloss black too. You even have manual shifting up and down. And yeah, that gloss black is pretty smooth. You got a small cubby, which I don't know what you can put in there, probably coins. Here in the middle, you have a normal parking brake. You got two cup holders, which are rubberized too. And here, this leather padded armrest. It's quite deep inside too. I got like two Absolute bottles in here, and you can probably fit a couple more than just two. Close that up. The glove box, it's pretty big for a car this size. Or yeah, I mean, in general, like for a glove box, it's pretty big. Then now, if we check out the middle top area, your rear view mirror is auto dimming, which again the titanium has. I think even the Ambiente has that. Got a sunglass holder, and what's nice here is the lights. It's like the Euros where they slowly fade, although it fades a bit faster than most Euros. But still, it's a nice touch to have. And then you got your sun visor with your mirrors, with lights too. And same thing for the passenger side. And here you'll see you have it's like a microphone, and one more over here. I'm not sure if that's for your Bluetooth or for your noise canceling, which I'll talk about later in the drive. Here at the back, the Ford Everest is actually quite spacious. So number one, you got this much legroom, which is way more than its competitors. My main gripe here is this thing right here. So the map pocket is actually quite narrow compared to its competitors. So even my 13-inch MacBook Pro, the new one, which is very thin, still has a hard time being shoved in there. The next cool thing here though is this one right here. So over here, you can see that there's a lock and unlock button, which is the only car I've seen so far which has it at the back. I don't know how that works if you got kids at the back, but hey, at least you have it. Next thing, the materials over here at the side, they're all hard touch plastic, although you do have the gloss trim over here. This part is soft touch though. Next thing here is you can actually move this one forward and backward. You can also tilt the back part so you can recline like that. My problem about this armrest is that it has cup holders here, but even though this car isn't that old, this actually broke down like 2 years ago and we can't seem to have it out anymore. So you don't have any cup holders anymore. Put this back up, move to the center, and what you got is a nice low center tunnel which you can put your foot on. But if you don't want to do that and if you want to put them at the sides, the foot space is actually not quite wide, so it's not that much fun. Next thing is that although this car is big and chunky on the outside, the width inside is actually quite narrow. So if you have 3 people here on a long journey, it's not going to be fun. Here at the center, you have your climate control settings. Actually more like just a hot and cold, not even a climate control. And you can even adjust the fan speed, and you can also pick whether you want the air to come from the air vents, or there's some vents down there somewhere to blow air at your feet. Most of the Everest's competitors actually have seats that they tumble down like that. But for this one, you just pull this lever right here, and this one slides forward for you to gain entry into the third row. Now I wouldn't even bother getting into the third row, but here you'll see that there's enough space for like 2 people. And the legroom is quite comparable to its counterparts. However, my main problem with this is that this part right here, it's quite solid. So you can't exactly like jam your knees there. So it does eat into your legroom a lot, and that's quite annoying. So you put it back. Once that is forward, you can see that there's really not much toys in here aside from air vents, a quarter panel, and that's pretty much it there for the back. Hey, but at least you got seat belts, right? Aside from that, if you need more space here, if you want this to fold down, you can just pull this lever right here, and this will just fold down like that, but it doesn't tumble at all. Here at the back, the first thing you'll notice is that since this is the titanium model, even this part right here, the one that it says Everest, is also in chrome. The lower models, they don't have that. It's just a black plastic piece. As you open it up, there's no power tailgate, only the Premium Plus has it. And over here at the back, it's a bit messy, but as you can see, it's a very, very big trunk. And to raise these third row seats up, there's a strap that you can pull up just like that. You want to drop them, you just pull this lever right here and drop down like that. Not automatic either. Close it, just slam it down. The Everest has this 2.2 liter inline-4 diesel engine, which has 158 horsepower and 385 newton meters of torque. Now this engine, although it sounds small for a car this big, is actually adequately powered. And you'll see in the drive later on that I like it. It's a great engine overall. So driving the Ford Everest Titanium 4x2, the first thing you'll notice with this car is that although it looks pretty chunky on the outside, when you drive it, it's actually not very wide feeling. Like, it actually feels like a very narrow car, which is a good thing if you're navigating tighter streets. The only exception to that is the side mirrors. Now, the side mirrors are pretty wide, and so if you're going through tight streets, you'd have the habit of having to fold it a lot, which is a good thing since at least you have your power folding mirrors. I remember when this car was first released in 2015, it was really a game changer. Back then, the previous generation Fortuner and the previous generation Montero, they were pretty much bare bones on the inside. You don't have any premium feeling materials. Everything was just hard touch plastic everywhere. But this was the first car that produced the second generation pangmasang SUV look. This one was the first one to have soft touch materials on the dash. You got soft touch materials here. You got a big screen in the middle. And it even came with a reverse camera, which coupled again with that big screen is amazing. And it even swivels. So now let's just floor the Everest. The torque is pretty good. For a car this size, that 2.2 liter produces enough torque to propel this beast forward. Now, I wouldn't say that it's fast. It's definitely not. Especially if you compare it to its counterparts in the Montero or the Fortuner. Those feel just a bit faster, but then again, those do feel less refined. When it comes to bumps and potholes, I must say that the Everest is actually quite good. You'd expect that 20-inch rims would hamper the ride so much, but even with these aftermarket Thunder tires, which are the thigh-made, and frankly, they're quite cheap, this car is great riding. It's nowhere as jerky when it comes to the transmission. It's nowhere as jerky as that in the Fortuner, and by a mile, it rides better than the Fortuner. The Fortuner just feels like a truck. It feels like a Hilux, which it is based on. The Everest, although it's based on the Ford Ranger, it actually was tweaked a lot as far as I know, and that translates to an extremely comfortable ride on the road. Now, I wouldn't say that it's as comfortable as the newer one, the Terra, the Nissan Terra. But for 2015, when this car was first released, this is a great car. This has electronic power steering, unlike the Fortuner, which has an extremely heavy hydraulic power steering system. This car is just so easy to drive in the city. On the highway, not to worry. The electronic power steering actually adjusts and it tightens up so much, so it feels incredibly stable on the highway. If you're used to driving SUVs at this price point, and you are a little bit naughty and you go above the speed limit on the highway, maybe you go to 120 or 140, you'll notice that those car tends to just shake and it gets pretty loud. But what's good about this car is that, number one, it goes to those speeds without any problem. There's no shaking, there's no rattling, wind noise is kept to a bare minimum, even with the big side mirrors. And that is because of the fact that this car has active noise cancelling. So the way that works is that, for example, the wind noise and the road noise is producing around, let's say, 20 decibels. This car actually plays negative 20 decibels on the speaker, that way cancelling that sound, giving you a very quiet ride. If you're currently looking to buy a second-hand SUV at this segment and you're wanting to go for a Fortuner just because it's more reliable, do note that aside from the minor inconvenience of the cup holders at the second row not popping out, this car so far has had no problems at all for us in the past 4 years of ownership. So I can say that reliability is probably on par, if not just maybe in the long term a little bit lower than a Toyota. Although you gotta note that resale value will definitely be lower compared to a Fortuner, just because of the brand. If you like this video, please don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more car reviews.